roboticsclub.com. When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
I tried to hide my cigarette smoking. Then I was rushed into emergency surgery to repair the damage smoking did to my heart. It shocked everyone because they thought I was healthy. Yet because I smoked, I had a severe heart condition that nearly killed me. My tip is, you may be able to hide your smoking from the world, but you can't hide from the damage smoking does to your body.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Are you buying a home? Westgate Bank understands that you need to make important decisions during your home buying journey. Our local lenders in Lincoln and Omaha make themselves available so you can get the information you need to know. Use our mobile mortgage app to manage your transaction from pre-qualification to closing, no matter where you are. Get the service and convenience you want from a local community bank where our interest is you. Learn more and visit us online at westgate.bank. Westgate Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Spring has arrived, the temperatures are rising, and it's time to get your equipment ready for the season. Landmark Implement has high-quality used John Deere planters, sprayers, and tractors, priced to move and ready to work for you. Take advantage of unbeatable deals and flexible financing to upgrade your operation without stretching your budget. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or browse our full inventory online at landmarkimp.com. Before these deals are done, experience the Landmark difference.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome into 6 p.m. in Lincoln with former Nebraska linebacker Chris Kolarevic.
Intercepted, ball game over. Picked off by Chris Kolarevic.
This is 6 p.m. in Lincoln with Chris Kolarevic. Sponsored by the Teammates Mentoring Program on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What's up? Is my mic on? Testing. We got it working. All right, we got JoJo Doman in the studio. This is 6 p.m. in Lincoln. I'm Chris Kolarevic. What's up, JoJo?
Man, keep the beat on.
Keep the beat on the whole show? We should just keep it on the whole show. It's just freestyle.
I'm just playing. What's up, baby? It's good to be on.
Hey, we're glad to have you. Lincoln's glad to have you. Hey, where are you coming at us from? You in Austin, you said?
Man, we're out in Austin, Texas for the moment.
Okay, I can see you when I turn around. I might turn around a couple times in the show just so I can see you. I'm just looking at the camera when I look forward. So Austin. Right. All right, so in case, you know what, everybody in Lincoln should know JoJo Doman, but in case you don't, Colorado Springs native, played here for 6 years, All-American, many honors, all Big Ten, signed undrafted to the Colts, played for the Colts, played for the Titans. And now I'd love if you could give everybody an update on what's going on with JoJo in 2025.
Man, I'm still out here, still doing the thing. Came down here to Arlington, actually, after suffering a back injury in training camp with the Titans this past August. So came down here healthy. Been also going through a position change. I understood after I left Nebraska going into the league that what got me here isn't going to keep me here. So I started learning long snapper from Luke Rhodes when I was with the Colts, Morgan Cox when I was with the Titans, and really taking this thing to where I snap at a high level now and had the opportunity to come down, play linebacker, snap some footballs between my legs here in the UFL. Man, had a great time. Got to play for a great team in Skip Holtz. and it just they ended up releasing me. So all things aside, I'm just flowing. I'm just flowing with nature, baby. Like, come over to Austin. We got great community over here in Austin, and I'm on to the next, continuing to move forward, and really just taking all the signs as they come, and trying to enjoy myself.
Just still moving forward. That's all you can do.
Always.
So I want to talk about. I want you to kind of dive into over the years and as you've moved from place to place, gone from place to place, how your mindset and how you've evolved as a person from those stops. Because I know one quote that you love that you always talk about is adversity introduces a man to himself. Talk about that and talk about how that's evolved as you've gone from Nebraska to Indianapolis to Tennessee to Austin. Talk about that.
Absolutely. Adversity does introduce a man to himself, in the sense of when you're confronted with what you didn't expect, what you weren't planning on, or even parts of yourself that you're not fully aware of or familiar with or comfortable with. Like, the adversity, the obstacle, the thing, the person, the experience, the circumstance, like whatever it is serving as a reflection to an internal experience and seemingly pointing to some internal experience that is tied to the external one. So over my years in the NFL, since leaving Nebraska, I've really just allowed and really trusted my internal compass to really guide me, and live my life in a way where I can enjoy the ride, and I'm not trying to control everything. And I'm also doing everything in my control to apply myself, to assert myself, to create the things I want to create, to be in the relationships I want to be in. And it's been a really good ride so far.
It is a fun ride. I enjoy life. I enjoy being alive. I enjoy waking up every day, seeing what's going to happen. Um, I enjoy, me and Step talked about this last week. The whole idea of when you're in those adverse times, when you're in those hard circumstances, there's nothing else. It's like you're stripped down to really who you are, and you have to look yourself in the mirror. Because a lot of times during those adversity times, you have to see parts of yourself that you don't necessarily like. You have to see parts of yourself that were hidden because you were having success, or things were easy, or things were smooth. And then you're stripped down to this version of yourself that you may not even like, something that, and you have to do things or be a person that you didn't even know you were before, and it forces you to see that. And when you go through those things, especially at a young age, it forces you to really understand who you are early on.
No doubt.
All right, so in Austin, what's going on in Austin? Is the weather any good down there?
Yeah, it's great down here.
Yeah,
Honestly, the sun's
it's been
out.
real
I was
up and
trying to take
down.
this call outside, but the traffic was raining on the parade. We're
Oh, the
down here.
traffic.
It's really the community. Like, I truly believe you are who you surround yourself with.
Agreed.
And the people down here are phenomenal and are my type of vibe, in the sense of the people I'm surrounding myself with. Like, that's pretty general.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some really amazing people down here, some solopreneurs that collaborate, that are really creating special things, that are in like the somatic fields, that are in the philanthropy fields, that are in just all things like service, giving back, like the greater good. Um,
Is there anything you want to plug while you're on here at Eons?
Yeah, man. I guess the thing that I'm building out right now is, right. So like, when this opportunity with the UFL has seemingly like closed, I really took that as, the universe and God telling me, like, okay, this other aspect though that you've been delaying on in the name of playing. So now that I'm not playing, like, I really have this heart to use my experience and educate, guide, and service other people in theirs. I feel like through my experience, through my injuries, through getting to the top of a mountain multiple times, thinking that was exactly what I wanted, and realizing at the top it wasn't as fulfilling as I thought it was, and over and over and over again. And the invitation and the thing that I'm building out is a concept where, like, the mountain is you, where ultimately you go from a victim in your life to a creator of your life. And how do we do that? And that's the beautiful thing that football has taught me about life and the relationship I've built with God through the act of worship, through football. Like, it's all an act of devotion if we allow it to be. Like, the concept that it's all divine or none of it's divine. And it's all divine. So just using whatever our art is, whatever our authentic expression is, which as a conscious athlete is just being an athlete. Like, we're all born to move. We're all born to play. So it's all about redefining what it is to be a human being, what it is to be an athlete, and what it is we really want. So we can create the life from a place of abundance, from our creator energy. Because when we want something, we're energetically declaring that we don't have it. So it's about rewiring our brain, rewiring our nervous system, literally teaching ourselves how to coming back to the present moment, where our creator energy, where's God and source like meets us. And whatever's true, whatever's authentic, naturally presents itself in true presence, rather than a story of who we think we are and what we think we're supposed to do. That just creates more and more lack because it's coming from a place of lack. So when you create from a place of lack, you create lack. When you create from a place of abundance, you will create abundance because you are abundant. You know, it's the concept Joe Dispenza calls, don't pray for the thing like you need it. Like, pray as if it's already happened, and walk away from that prayer healed. Walk away from that prayer better. Walk away with that breath of hope and inspiration that you just prayed for. Like
move as
step
if
into
you
it.
move as if you already are that person. I think that one thing that I have noticed and in the past how I've approached things is, once I get this, then I'll be that person. Once I get this offer, or I get this, or I end up in this situation, then I'll be that person, and then I can show up as that person. But in reality, the only way to get that thing that you want is to already be that thing, and then it comes to you.
Exactly. I mean, we're all just big kids. And Rummy said it very well. He said the highest form of learning is unlearning. So
I'm glad you said
oftentimes,
that.
like, we learn based off of our environment, based off of the conditions, based off our predicament.
Yeah.
And find like complete and total acceptance for that is the first step, which is really hard, which means we have to forgive everyone, everything, including ourselves, which truly is a spiritual practice. And people who are unwilling to really confront like the spiritual essence of it all, and it can, like, God, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, like whatever you want to call it, like, but if you're unwilling to confront the unknown and the what's not in your control, and know that it's in something's control, and have faith in a creator, that all things are connected, like, it becomes really hard to like actually create sustainable growth and change in our life, and everything just becomes change for the fad of it, that always ends up dwindling and being just not enough.
I feel like the only real change that is good is if you're changing more into yourself, and really, like you said, that's unlearning. Unlearning these things that you've been conditioned, where as kids, it's almost like we're born perfect and we're born with these great instincts on how to do things and how to navigate this world as ourselves. And then through school, through different situations, we're conditioned to act a certain way, and we're conditioned to think a certain way and do this and that. But as time goes on, we're able to discard and let go of those things that have been conditioned into us, and kind of get back to being more of that kid that had those real instincts that are really who he is, or really who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah, that unlearning is interesting, because I do think that as kids we are in a way perfect. We may not have the knowledge, but we may not have the knowledge, but we have the right instincts. We understand how things work. And I think, and I started working with I've been doing this coaching thing for a couple weeks now, and it's my first coaching job. Excited about it. And I said this last week, but I'm honestly learning more from them than they're learning from me. I'm seeing these kids who, I'm around 18, 19, 17-year-old kids, and I'm watching how they move. And these kids are smart. Like, kids kids are smart, and it's like we almost make them less smart by putting more into their heads and making them do certain things or think certain ways when and a lot of times just their natural who they are is better than anything you could ever make them into.
Yeah, bro, that's a bar, and I couldn't agree more. It's I want to just like provide evidence to support that, which is I think one of them is like our body's natural intelligence, how like our body naturally heals itself like without even trying.
Mhm.
And then when it does need support, like the best support is from the earth, and 90% of the pharmaceutical drugs are synthetic compounds like that are copycatted from plants in the Amazon. So I mean, everything comes back to us being one with nature, our bodies being intelligent, more than just a tool, and it really having codes and guides for like our truth, our authentic expression, like what we're here to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really is the vehicle for our soul's evolution here on
Agreed.
planet Earth.
Agreed. I know you mentioned I want to talk about this. I know you mentioned you had some injuries. To me, yes, injuries are physical, but whether it's an ACL or a pimple on your face, you have acne. I think that all physical ailments somehow stem from the mind. They all stem from some sort of misconstruct or something that's going on in the mind where something's off, whether it's your environment, whether it's your way of thinking, whether it's a relationship or relationships or people that you're around or situation that you're in. There's something off about how you're living your life and it manifests itself in that injury. What's your take on that?
Yeah, no, from my experience, it seems to be that way, which is a harsh reality to
It is.
accept.
And it's hard to grasp that, I think, when you're younger. I think it's hard. I think it's something that's hard to grasp because you have a knee and it's like you want to watch the film and see how you tore your knee. But really it's when I look back on I had 3 major foot surgeries, I had a collarbone, I had knee issues, I had all sorts of problems, and I look back on them and I see the mental headspace that I was in when I did those things, and I kind of know exactly why those things happened. And it wasn't just the fact that my knee got hit by somebody, it was the fact that my mind wasn't in a place to be able to be healthy.
Sure. The next level of that is that you chose that for yourself. Is that
Agreed.
right? Like the victim's like, I created that. Like,
Mhm.
oh, the grief, all that I went through, you know?
Yeah.
But then the soul's like, this is the curriculum for our evolution.
Mhm.
And I chose that. And when you can like accept it from that embodied place, then it becomes fuel and gas in the tank
Right.
to keep moving.
That's a fact. It
Yeah.
does become fuel because I do think that the soul knows where it wants to go. Like we have this some sort of destiny. We have this thing. We have this direction or place that we want to go or where we want to get to naturally, instinctually, and our bodies and minds kind of take ourselves there instinctually. And that sometimes is through injuries where we need that injury for some reason in order to get to where we want to go.
Precisely. Yeah, no, the butterfly effect, the domino effect, like it's hard to say what's a good thing or a bad thing. You can't snapshot time and label it like altogether as absolute. Like that was good. You know,
Yeah, you can't.
I remember one time at the pro football camp that you've been out to, out in Sea Springs. I just felt called. We're just signing autographs, and I looked at a little girl who I was talking with, and I asked her like, why do bad things happen to good people?"
You asked her that or she asked you that?
I asked her that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I was like, why do bad things happen to good people? And she looks at me and she goes, well, good things must come from bad things. And I was just
See,
like,
kids are wise. Kids are
it's
wise.
that simple.
Kids are wiser than us.
It is that simple.
It is.
But we get so caught up, and yeah, like, yeah, we're energetic beings for real. Like, this is an this is an energetic universe. Like 99% of the things happening all the time we cannot perceive. And what we do perceive, we're very responsible for creating. So we really are in this predicament of like being these, primitive, you know, human beings, but also having this cosmic consciousness that isn't ours, but flows through us. And seemingly we have access to this concept and idea of infinity, of God, of eternity, of love. Like we have, but all those things are just concepts in the mind for this deep internal state of, I'll call it presence. Yeah.
Mhm.
Of presence.
Yeah.
That like only you for yourself, when you're there, can know.
Mhm.
And then presence, true presence, goes from experiencing it in these transitory states of the sun hitting your face at the perfect time, or you seeing the sign right on the wall, or right somebody speaking straight to your soul, right? Presence, true presence becomes a habitual openness, a disposition, accepting all things all the time,
Mhm. That's
anchored in humility.
mhm. Open to all things.
Anchored in
Open
humility.
to all things. I think that's an important statement because I think, like we were talking about, as you grow and you get older, you're taught this is what you need to pay attention to. This is what you need to do. Where true presence comes from, you're seeing everything. You're open to everything. You don't necessarily have to bring it in, but you see everything and you notice everything. And
Yeah.
that's where kids naturally do that. Kids naturally are very aware because they're not in their heads thinking about what should I be doing, what shouldn't I be doing. Kids are open. They're paying attention. They're exploring the world. They're figuring out where everything's at, what everything's doing. And they haven't yet been programmed to ignore or see certain things.
Yep. Exactly. No, I love this question. Like, what is consciousness?
Consciousness, I think it depends on what angle you're coming at it from. Like what part of
Fair.
like self
I
yeah, like self-awareness. We gotta hey, come on. I forgot to introduce. I have an intern named Brehan, and he said he answered. He said self-awareness.
Is that like what you're referring to, JoJo?
Yeah, most definitely. All the above.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I have a little exercise that I learned to help kind of clear the space on this question. So when you close your eyes and you keep your mouth shut and you tell yourself hello. Go on, keep saying it. Say it a little louder. Now stop. Open your eyes. Not only were you able to say hello without opening your mouth, but you're able to hear it with nothing going in your ears. The one the one who hears is who we really are. Like that's consciousness. The one who observes, the observer of the observer.
Mm-hmm.
There's just levels to it. And the farther back we go, we can just sit and experience the happening unfold from this place of love, of centeredness, of groundedness, of compassion, of grace, of mercy, of joy, right? Just true optimism, unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing about unconditional love. It's like, it's unconditional.
Mm-hmm.
It's like nothing's too much for it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's too much.
And
Unconditional love says that too.
It's giving without the expectation of receiving anything back.
Absolutely. And it casts everything in. It casts everything in. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a hard thing to also comprehend when we grew up. I mean, I grew up, learning a doctrine that kind of twisted that and said that, this unconditionally loving God like only loves you and only has a good place for you. kind of based on these conditions.
Mm-hmm. Well, I went to Catholic school.
But that's for your best.
I know all those conditions.
So it does go back to what Remy said about how the highest form of learning becomes unlearning. And like, how do we become independent thinkers for ourselves? Most people are just grown babies. Like, most people's energetic bodies are trapped from the age of 5 to 12, looping in whatever traumatic, unconscious event now that is playing itself out in every relationship, every career path, everything, because it's how they identify. And it's actually pretty natural, because the soul, like, this thing hurts so bad that we actually have to keep coming back to it, because something on us needs to know why it's there. And it's not even a bad thing that it's there. It's actually there so that we can die and be reborn. Because of course we're naturally going to just morph to our environment naturally, right? Like, if you're in the forest and your mom and your dad carries water and your mom weaves, like, you're going to carry water and weave. If you grow up in a suburb and your parents are, like, on computers, like, you're going to go to public school and you're going to be on your iPad and you're going to know technology inside and out. Like, you just become your environment.
Okay. So
this nature nurture thing really becomes this intertwined soup concoction that we get to play with. And it is a hard thing to get out of the victim mindset, but it is possible.
It definitely is. Hey, with that, we got to take our first break real quick. We'll be back in a couple minutes here. I'll see you soon.
National Electrical Safety Month is held every May to raise awareness about the importance of staying safe around electricity. Visit les.com/safety for safety tips on power lines, tree trimming, storms, and so much more.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Back to 6 p.m. in Lincoln with Chris Kolarevic. Sponsored by the Teammates Mentoring Program on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we're back. Are you here, JoJo? Are you still there? I think he might have stepped out for a minute. Is his camera on?
Yeah, we here.
Okay. Hey, Brienne's got a quick question for you.
What's up, JoJo? It's Brian. How you doing, dude?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. I have a question about, how you're really hammering in about self-actualization and like being kind of like being on the outs of like a football world for a lot of people watching this. How do you feel like you came to your self-actualization, like when it came to football for you?
Absolutely, man. It came through my injuries, thank God. And that's, for a lot of people, I've heard that same kind of self-realization where, it presented itself through the injuries. And thankfully, I was able to actually work through those. And that self-realization led to more ball and more life, which is, I think, that in some of its forms, that's what it does.
Yeah.
But then once I did it, 3 years in the league, I'm now at another point where, I've had to, you really got to do that. It's a daily practice. It's a yearly thing. And at this point, I'm so detached from football being this, how I identify myself, how I see my self-worth, where I feel loved, where I feel praised, where I feel worthy. And that has taken a lot of work. And that's a daily yearning.
Yeah. So
like the first day I woke up feeling that, like I didn't feel like I found it.
So do you feel like you practice a routine of thankfulness now?
Absolutely. You are what you repeatedly do. You are what you repeatedly think. And as a man thinketh, he becomes it. So a gratitude practice is a no-brainer. Like you really got to start feeding your subconscious mind like the things that you want to hear. If you want a plant to grow, you put it next to the window so it can get the sunlight. And funny enough, it actually will grow towards the sun. So we're gonna grow towards the things and where we're watered and where we receive nutrients. So it's all about, my mom, love her to death. She played one of the best things she did for my brother and I was she played us Mozart before we go to bed. And just there's something about that with the brain waves and the keys, just like helping the brain, just assisting the brain, creating the environment for my brain to just do what it naturally does. So it's constantly, right, being a conscious creator in our life starts with creating our environment, right? Like I carry my own water around everywhere I go. This spring water is alive, like straight from the earth. It's not dead and doesn't have millions of microplastics in it. Like This is something I care about. This is something I've become aware of. I've identified as important to me and something I've mobilized and taken action on. You won't catch me drinking out of plastic water. Not because, I think less of people that do, but because this matters to me. So we will prioritize things that matter to us. And we're not taught how to prioritize ourselves. And we're also taught and we're shown we're shown how to be people pleasers. We're shown how to keep it all together for the greater good. We're shown how to put our feelings aside to just keep going. We're shown how to be workaholics. We're shown how to be addicts. We're shown how to be emotionally evasive. We're shown how to be in nuclear families. We're shown how to have emotional avoidance. Like, these are the things we've been modeled. And we really have to have like an immense amount of grace and acceptance and an awareness of that if we want any chance to change, actually.
And what they don't tell you is what's actually best for the people around you is for you to be the best yourself possible. And you can't do that being a people pleaser, being not showing up the best that you can show up just to please other people or to pander to people in your environment. Obviously, like, there has to be some sort of harmony and cohesion, but if you're doing that and you're sacrificing yourself in the process, you're actually not helping the people around you at all. The only way that you can truly help the people around you the most is if you're the best version of yourself possible and you're showing up as the best version of yourself.
Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and just spoil it for you. Take you right to the root. I'm going to take you right to the root.
Go for
This
it.
all stems from the subconscious belief of original sin. This
Adam
all
and Eve.
stems from the subconscious belief that we are inherently less than and scarce, lack, that we're inherently bad. And when we inherently believe that we don't have the love for ourselves that we need, deserve, and feel worthy of, then we have no choice than to outsource it. Right? And that's the program that's been modeled to us. Is the generation before us, this generation, their parents were coming off of World War II. We're coming off of all these traumatic things where nobody could slow down and act like, hey, why are we doing what we're doing? They were so bought into the propaganda, and their parents being like literally over at war.
Literally.
Like,
Survival.
Yeah, like
when you're in survival mode, it's different.
We have the gift as this generation to be a step back and to really see the systems and structures in place that are controlling us, that are limiting our ability to be human beings.
There is
And
a
that's
lot
why
of
every single person is gifted a social security number when they're given here. Like,
Mhm.
dude, they're not hiding it. They are not hiding it. Like, writing's on the wall. Like, what game? And it's all just a game. This is your life. And we ultimately create the games that we play.
Mhm.
If you want to be mad at somebody and you have anger in your heart, you'll find any reason to get mad.
That's a very good point.
Right? Like,
yes.
And you'll actually be attracting that person who's going to cut you off on the road, that person who's not going to hold the door for you, that person who's going to spill their coffee on you. Like, you're attracting it.
Mhm.
If you're looking at the world like everything's happening for me, like, it's all about the interpretation.
And
Like,
so
we
many
can't
things
control. Go ahead.
So many of those things, to me, the getting caught off on the road, the spilling the coffee, those little inconveniences that we come across in life.
Yeah.
When those are happening and you're on a mission or you're on some sort of spiritual or self mission where you're trying to go accomplish something or you're trying to do something and you're really focused on something in life, those little things that happen, to me, they really don't affect you. It's like, oh, okay, I spilled some coffee, I'll get a new shirt. You're not going to be mad about it the rest of the day, but it's when you're living life without that purpose, without that direction that you're going in, that's when those things, I think, stew. Where if you're living life the right way, those things brush off and you don't even think about them.
It like emanates, like, because those little things, when you have a purpose, those little things won't mean anything to you. But when you feel like you're kind of just doing life to do life, those little things start becoming like this big pyramid that you carry around like you're across the bear.
100%.
Yo, what's the difference between comparison and inspiration?
The difference between comparison and inspiration is, I feel like you could go a few different directions with this, but just off the top of my head, my gut's telling me to say inspiration is something that's positive, something that you want to work towards, and comparison is something negative where you see someone as a threat or you see someone um, as it's more of a negative light than a positive, whereas inspiration is something that you want to aspire to be.
Absolutely. I would say inspiration is you're inspired because you see yourself in the other person and you see their success is your success. Their love is your love.
Right.
Their joy is your joy.
Right.
Comparison sees it as they have something I don't.
More scarcity, more they have something that if they have it, I can't have it. Whereas inspiration is they have it, but I can get it too.
Inspiration's abundant, comparison is scarce.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that comes back to our disposition in life with the creator. Like, are we looking to be inspired? Are we living to be inspired? Are we living to inspire? And allow that, and allow love, and allow that to fuel our evolution versus like this game of comparison and like all these versions of ourselves we think we have to become to like feel the things that like we can actually feel if we just took the time to sit with ourselves, to know thyself. It's a really upside down world that we live in, and
crazy world.
I really believe that like this is the generation that like is here to change that. That's why we're having these conversations. It's why you're doing this podcast. It's why you're getting into coaching, right? You're in coaching because you're here to give them what you have to offer. You're here to inspire them. You're here to guide them and give them the tools on the next level that you receive them at. Like,
completely
that's
agree.
the circle of life, man.
Yep.
That's what it's all about. Like, it's all about not judging ourselves for what we're doing.
Yeah, and I just learned so many lessons the hard way. Like I just learned every lesson that I learned along my journey, I had to learn the hard way.
Why do you think that is?
And to kind of piggyback on, double back on that question, do you feel like other people need to learn lessons kind of the similar way as you did?
Okay, so there's two questions there. Why do I think that is? I think that. Why do I think I learned every lesson the hard way? I think I was put on this earth to learn those lessons so other people don't have to. And I'm not sure exactly why. I don't have a good answer for that. I don't have a good answer for why I had to learn all those lessons the hard way. I'm somebody, I like to kind of feel things out. I like to use my instincts. I like to try things without maybe proper guidance and kind of feel things out. And a lot of times when I was younger, I was kind of doing it blind, doing it without awareness of what I was doing. So I was just kind of like trying things, feeling things. And whether it's injuries, whether it's taking a wrong turn, doing things that that took me the wrong direction, those things, I feel like I had to go that direction in order to feel those things out, because I wanted to be able to have my own roadmap, and I was somebody that I didn't want to just follow somebody else's roadmap. Like I didn't want to just follow somebody else's plan for me. I wanted to figure things out. And in order to do that, I kind of had to just trip over a lot of stuff and figure it out on my own. And I've had a lot of great people and I've got a lot of great mentors and a lot of people that have given me great advice. But at the end of the day, like I've made my own decisions. And by doing that, I had to figure out how to make decisions. And in order to make those good decisions now that I can make, and obviously I'm not making all good decisions, but in order to get that wisdom, you have to trip over certain things and not do everything right the first time. And to answer the second question about, is it important for kids to learn things the hard way? Yeah, for sure. I think that as leaders or as a coach or as a parent or as somebody that's giving guidance, you can provide, like, it's almost like in bowling, you can provide some bumpers but you're not going to just straight track them through because they're not going to be able to be themselves. Like you can provide some bumpers. Like if they're going off the rails, you can go, hey, get back, or help them out. But yes, you obviously, everybody's going to have to learn lessons the hard way for sure. But if I can pass some of the things on that I've learned and help kids out, not have to learn certain things the hard way, that's why I want to do what I'm going to do. Let's take a quick break. It's 6:44. We're going to come back in about 2-3 minutes on. We'll see you soon.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's schwisow.com. Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best they can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. Tailored Landscapes is on the brink of spring cleanups for all their existing customers, and they have limited spots available. They trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give Tailored Landscapes a call at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of their designers and stop by the Tailored Life store in Bennett.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at copplecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G1877747, and G1965999.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger, and you can get started now by saving when you join today. We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need, and you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Find your nearest club and join today. Deal ends Friday, May 16th.
See Home Club for details.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Are you looking for a place to relax and unwind after a long week? Grotto Bar and Lounge is the perfect spot to enjoy a full menu and in-house DJs on Friday and Saturday nights. If you're wanting to start your Saturday or Sunday off the right way, stop by for brunch starting at 9 a.m. Don't forget, Grata offers a full catering service as well for those graduation parties, birthday celebrations, and weekend family get-togethers. Give Grata Bar and Lounge a call today at 402-261-3019 or visit them in person at 70th and A in the Clock Tower Shopping Center.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Back to 6 p.m. in Lincoln with Chris Kolarevic, sponsored by the Teammates Mentoring Program on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we're back for one last. This is gonna be a 10-minute segment, Jake. We got 10 minutes left. All right, JoJo, we lost you back there. Are you with us again?
Yeah, we're locked and loaded.
All right, we're locked and loaded. When did we lose you? Was I talking?
Nah, we good.
We
Y'all
good?
cut right to commercial like afterwards.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it was time anyway. We got a 10-minute segment left. So you have anything to add to learning lessons the hard way? What we were talking about?
Oh man, yeah, I don't. That's the whole thing of reframing of like even like the hard way is, and it just becomes the way.
Mm-hmm.
And you start late, and you can get in this space where you don't even label your experience as good or bad, right or wrong, and you just start to have it, and that's just a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I did kind of want to bring into this space was your guys' thoughts on the difference between pressure versus presence when it comes to performing.
To sum up my thoughts that are going through my head, I would say pressure is external and presence is internal, where pressure is something that's coming from the outside.
Yeah.
And then like of expectations of people watching you, of weight on your shoulders, whereas presence is something that comes from inside where you're looking in outward.
I mean, I would say pressure is like to kind of piggyback off that, like it's very external. Like it's people putting all these expectations on your shoulders. And to be present is to be in that moment and to be kind of locked in on like what you need. I feel like that's how I like differ the two.
Yeah, is pressure other people's expectations though?
I think it stems from other people's expectations. We can put pressure on ourselves for sure, but it probably stems from other people's expectations of us. Because the reality of it is that when you get into a situation where you are a leader or you are a person with a lot of people watching you and have your performance, whether it's as a coach or whether it's a player, your performance, the success of a team or the success of a city or the success of whatever group of people rides on your performance. That's where I think pressure comes from.
Yeah.
Where you have, say it's a head coach of a football team. His performance as a head coach has hundreds of, at least dozens of families' income riding on it.
Yeah.
Or that's where I think that's
That
pressure.
sounds more like that, but that can be interpreted as responsibility
I see that.
rather than pressure.
I guess maybe then I think pressure can be self put on, I guess. Like you can apply that pressure as much as possible, but I guess in like the framing of the question, I think majority of pressure can come from outside noises that become inside voices. If that makes
Definitely.
sense.
Yeah.
I think that's spot on. What is your take on it?
Yeah. How do you view that?
Yeah, no, obviously from my reframes, like I really think that pressure, like it's the illusion that other people put pressure, like these expectations, like yes, they do. But ultimately we have to accept them for ourselves. And as a kid, we don't understand that yet. Like we just do. But then as we grow and we understand what sovereignty is, like we actually have to unhook those expectations that other people put in us, but it's our responsibility to unhook them. So when we do that, right, our power then comes back to us, which is what presence is. Presence is present moment power versus this pressure of like something else has this power over me. Something else has this hook in me, right? for good, bad, or indifferent, but they're making me feel this way, think this way, right? Versus the embodiment of like, no, this is my responsibility. This is what I chose to do. This is what I get to do, like amidst all of it. And that's, it's little things like that that can shift our whole experience.
That reframe.
Yes.
All right. So while I got you on the show, I imagine some of my guys are watching or will watch, some of my players over at Iowa Western. I'm wondering if you have any advice, anything that they could take with them that can help them on their journey, because they're trying to go. They've got 2 years at junior college and they're trying to get to a Division I school. Do you have any nuggets of wisdom for those guys?
Yeah, man. Who you are off the field is who you are on the field. You don't just step on that field and put on a superhero cape and become something else. If you're making irrational decisions, if you're making irresponsible decisions off the field, if you're not disciplined within your own self, like as soon as there's quote unquote pressure or there's responsibility now, right? Those same things are going to show up. So the best thing you can do for your football career is evolve as a man, period.
Yeah.
And that they're symbiotic with one another. The more you grow up as a man, the better you'll become at football.
Agreed.
And men that are gifted athletes that go all the way to the top but never develop from boys to men always fuse out, and it's always short-lived and it never lasts. And it's only the people that are really able to evolve into their manhood, into their embodiment, into their truth, right? Football works out or not, like you're gonna be all right.
100%. I think football does expose who you really are. The spotlight, the brighter the spotlight is, exposes who you really are on the inside.
Definitely.
All right, that's good
As
advice.
within, so without, as above, so below, man.
That's great advice for those guys.
It's already been said. It's for us to understand, for us to meditate on, and for us to know.
So as kids that are starting their journey, trying to come up, how would you go about approaching that off the field? Figuring out who you are, figuring out how you want to go about your day and live your life. How would you approach that if you were in that position?
Oh man, I just wouldn't say no. I wouldn't put a limit on them. I'd get out of their way. And I would help them get out of their own way. And I sure wouldn't be imposing any limitations or projections on them.
They would explode.
It'd be pretty congested up there. I feel like at this point we'd never see the sun.
Never.
Like clouds are supposed to rain. Like we're emotional beings. We're supposed to feel our emotions.
That's a good quote, actually. Clouds are supposed to rain. I think that's a good spot to end the show. I got the music playing, so Jake's telling me we need to end the show, but that's a good spot to end it at. Hey, this was fun, man. We got to do this one again. This was a blast.
Take care, Jojo.
All right, appreciate you coming on. I'll see you later.
All righty.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing